I had started talking about the 10 golden rules for leaders, and I'm just continuing with that. I did kind of mention that you don't have to be a manager or kind of a CEO to apply this into your life. This can be for your professional as well as personal life, okay? So the first rule was, we saw, don't expect others to do things that you wouldn't do yourself. Preach only what you've practiced. The next one we had covered was, fear is commanded, respect is earned. And in that, we covered a couple of points, which is take interest in others and offer genuine praise. I won't go into details of this right now. We've already done this. Do not criticize or condemn, and don't begin your sentence with but, no, but, or however. So today, for the third one, I'm going to attempt to tell you 3 stories in 3 minutes. That's quite a tall order, but let's do it. So first up is my boss, my current boss. He's Japanese and he's a multimillionaire. We all used to think he's extremely rude, arrogant, and a typical millionaire who does not give a damn about anybody. He never replies to a single email from anyone. He does not care about the communication, nothing. So we all thought he's rude and arrogant. One day when he called me into his office to ask me, hey, I had asked you to do this, what happened? And I was like, well, I emailed you like 100 times. You never reply. And he was like, hang on, what email? I was like, I emailed you several times. And he was like, Nikita, look at me. I'm 80. The only information I get is from a newspaper, or if you come and tell me personally. That's the only way I know something. And that's when it dawned upon me, he's not a rich, arrogant millionaire. All he is a simple 80-year-old man who does not even have a laptop. So that was my first revelation. Second up is a friend of mine who we all used to think was rather cheap. He used to avoid all kinds of dinner parties or movie nights or anything. And if he ever came, then when the bill was served, he was conveniently in the toilet. So we all used to think he's really cheap. And then one day I found out that he was actually in between jobs. He was actually fired from his job because he was constantly coming late because he was caring for his sick father. So now he had massive hospital bills and no job. Poor thing was really struggling, but we didn't know that because he was too embarrassed to tell us that he didn't have a job, he was fired. When we found this out, we friends kind of helped him out, got him a part-time job that suited his needs, and he could look after his father as well as take care of the bills. Now, what I learned from these two people, well, actually thousands of people, but I haven't got the time to tell you 1,000 stories, but what it made me really reflect upon is the fact that had these people been honest right from the beginning about their shortcomings, vulnerabilities, things that they don't know, people would have been a lot more helpful, a lot more supportive, and there wouldn't have been this normal misconception about them. So third up in the story is me, because I reflected upon this and I soon realized the image that I have in my company was people used to think I'm a snobbish, successful person who does not want to socialize with people, who does not want to sit in the staff room or the office and work with others, who does not go to any staff parties, who sits alone and works in a cabin. And that's when I realized that's not who I am, but because I was not open about my vulnerabilities, that is the impression that I had created. I am on the spectrum and I have misophonia. So it's not that I like to avoid people. I just find it really difficult to deal with certain triggers and certain social situations. And that's why I tend to avoid them. It's not after choice. It's simply a matter of what I can do and what I can't do. When I told this to my colleagues were extremely supportive of me. And I no longer am the snobbish B word of the office, but I am someone that they come to when they need me. So what I want to say and conclude with is be honest to be trustworthy. So when you're honest with yourself and with your team, people will be able to help you and you will be able to help them and understand them. Accept your mistakes and your shortcomings and your vulnerabilities as well. And lastly, well, most importantly, trust yourself and trust others. And that's how you will build a team, cooperation, and more like a family. That's about it. Thank you.
Amazing. Lovely presentation, Nikita. Learned 3 new stories, and definitely it is impactful when you share real life stories. It really connects us. Thank you so much for sharing. Great.